Now to correct the unobtrusive error mode, what we have to do, we come back to the .NET IDE. I open the Solution Explorer. In the Solution Explorer, you have a file called web.config, and in the web.config, you have to add this particular tag. Please make a note of it. The tag is called as app settings, and when you type it, automatically it comes. I'll show you it. I have already added. So you just add the app settings, then it will be added like this. Then you just say add, automatically add tag comes. Then there you can type key, you can type the key value. Then inside the key value, this is the value that you have to give, and please make a note of it. And it is case sensitive, so all this validation must be in capital letter, V capital, S capital, unobtrusive validation mode, UVM must be capital. So let me just copy and paste it here. Paste it here. Then once you have added the key, go for adding the value. There you can simply say none, right? Observe the none, N is capital. So this is very case sensitive. So add all these values in the same format. Okay. So what you have to do, go to the Solution Explorer, take the web config file, double click on it, add a tag called as app settings, and add the key value and the key and value to specify the validation settings is in the unobtrusive validation mode. So if you say so, what it will do, it will open your application. Your application is open now. Now it is not showing you the error. You can check here, no errors are shown, and it is opening the web page. Yes, fine, your web page is opened here. Correct? So what I have to do now, I have to, when I click the submit button, you can see all the error messages are appearing. Why? Because I have not entered any value. Let us assume that I am going to enter a value here for the full name, and I press the submit button. Automatically this error message is gone because I have entered a value. The same way, if I enter a mail ID, the error message is gone. Enter a mobile number, error message is gone. Enter a mark, error message is gone. Click the submit button, it takes me to the second window. I think you can understand here. Suppose, say for example, I have not entered any value in the mobile box. I have entered all these three values, but no value is entered in the mobile box. When I click submit, it is not taking me to the next page, but it shows me please enter the mobile number. So I have to add some value here, enter some value here, only then the error message disappears. So this is what validation control is. So before I click the submit button, not before clicking the submit. When you click the submit button, before taking the value to the next web page, the values entered here are automatically validated based on the setup you have given in the validation control. So this is the purpose of having all the validation controls here, right? Yeah, if you want, you can go to the source and you can add, because I have just removed the center tag so that it appears on the center, but I don't know what will happen to the alignment. Let us check that alignment also. Okay, save it, open your application now. Build succeeded. All these values are now displayed on the center. When you click submit, it shows there are no values entered here, so you have to enter the value. So enter the name, it goes. Enter the mobile number, the error message is gone. Enter the mail ID. Yes, great. Okay, so this is the purpose of having a validation control. Now another thing is, okay, now let us see how we can add another validation also. So what is our purpose actually here? When I enter email ID, the email ID should be a valid email ID, and marks must be in a range, percentage of marks must be between the range 0 to 100. Okay, so now what I have to do, I have already added one validator for this required field validator. Now I am going to add one more validator for the email ID. I go to the toolbox, take the validation, and I have already told you for email ID and mobile number, we are going to check for a particular format in the string. So that format can be easily represented as a regular expression. We have discussed already what is a regular expression and how regular expressions are used for testing your strings, etc. So I'm going to use a regular expression validator. So I just double click on the regular expression. I'm going to add a regular expression validator. Yeah, it is also added. Okay. So if you want, you can place it here also so that alignment does not go. And as usual, since it is a validator, you have to specify for which control you want to have this validator. So go to the control to validate. Control to validate is your text box 2. In text box 2 only we are entering the email ID. So control to validate is text box 2. And what is the error message you want to display? Enter a valid email ID. So if it is not a valid email ID, you want to say enter valid email ID. That is also fine. Now when you are saying that I want to have a valid email ID using a regular expression validator, you have to specify what validation expression you want to use. So you go here, there is another property called as validation expression. It is a dialog box. Click on the dialog box icon. You will have the standard expressions, or you can have a custom expressions also, right? Custom expression is, we have already seen how regular expressions can be framed when we discussed strings in C# programming. So that kind of validation expression you can give, or you have some predefined expressions also. One is called as internet email address. So for internet email address, the validation expression is something like this, which is predefined. So this expression will check whether you have entered a valid email ID or not. Okay, I click on OK. So what are the three things we have added? One, the control to validate. So which user control is to be validated using regular expression validator. Then you have to specify what is the error message you want to give if the value is not valid. Then the third one, you have to fill in the regular expression. So for filling the regular expression, you can open a dialog box, and this three dots will be there in the validation expression property. When you click the three dots, it opens this dialog box. So from the dialog box, since we are going to check for the email address, you can select the standard expression called as internet email address and click on OK. The same way, so if you have done these three things, okay, it is done. So this will be checking whether the email ID entered in the text box is valid or not. Now another validator that we are going to add here is what do you call as range validator. I'm going to add a range validator here for this. So let me take the range validator. Go to the range validator, double click on range validator. Yes, it is added. So this is the range validator, keep it below. want it to be inside the division. Yeah. Yes, I add the range validator. Now again, for the range validator also, I have to specify which control is to be validated. So go to control to validate, and it is going to be now text box 4, this one. So select text box 4, error message, you can give it as out of range, and some color if you want to give, that colors can also be given. Okay, and in the same way for yeah, out of range, error message, and control to validate you have given. Now you have to specify what is the minimum value and maximum value for out of range. Go to minimum value as 0 and maximum value to 100. Correct? Okay. Now what are the three things we have done? Control to validate, what is the error message, and what is the minimum value and maximum value. Now when I give this minimum value and maximum value, the thing is I have to specify the type also, because it is going to compare the value entered here with the minimum value and maximum value. So what kind of data type comparison I want here, for which I select it to be double, because I may be entering 10.5 like that also. So the value you are going to type inside this text box should be of double data type. That should also be specified. So what are the four things we have given for the range validator? Control to validate, error message, minimum value, maximum value, and another important thing, what is the data type you want in that particular text box. So if you have done this, okay, we have almost come to the data validation. And if you want to change the colors also, go to the email ID validator and change the font color to something like this, some different color. Okay, yeah, save your program, run your application. Now it opens your Google Chrome. The application is opened, it is all there. When I click submit, it now shows only this, please enter full name, etc. So I enter my name, I enter a email ID. See, this is not a valid email ID, right? This is not a valid email ID. So what I have to do, I have to enter a valid email ID. Now it goes. Again, if you are going to say dot, it will say it is not a valid email ID. Correct? See how cool it is. X, enter your mobile number, and range I'm going to give 678. It says out of range. I give 86. It is perfectly fine. Press the submit button and it takes you to next web page. That means the data entered are validated. The data entered are all validated. No issue in the input data. Okay. Now another thing that we are going to see here is a valid mobile number. So only if 10 digits are entered, I am going to say it is a valid mobile number. So what I have to do, again I go for adding a regular expression validator. Let me keep this regular expression validator before this. As usual, we go for adding control to validate. I go for adding control to validate, which is text box 3, and say it is invalid mobile number. If you want, you can take some color also. Okay, I have added a color also. Save your application, and of course you have to specify the regular expression also. So go to the validation expression property. There are 3 dots here. the dots button must be clicked. It opens a regular expression editor, and here now I'm going to have a custom regular expression. So I go for percentage D. Percentage D is for digits. How many digits I want? I want to have 10 digits. Say OK. Save your application. Start running your application. Okay, enter your name. Entering a non-valid email ID, sorry, invalid email ID, it will say enter valid email ID. So I am going to enter a valid email ID. Enter this number, which is not 10 digits, so it says invalid mobile number. So delete it and enter a valid mobile number. Enter a valid marks also. Okay, this is not a 98, 97, 87, 65, 56. It is some error. Let us check what is the error here. What happened? Now let me close the application. Let me close the application, correct the regular expression here, go to the invalid mobile number, click on the property, regular expression, go here, you're going to say it is digits, sorry, not percentage, it is \d. \d, okay. Save your application, run it again. Yeah, now it doesn't come. I have given percentage, it is not percentage, it is \d. If you give this one, it will say it is invalid mobile number, but if you give 10 digits, it will not say it is invalid mobile number. So enter all the valid values, click submit button, it will take you to the next web page, right? So this video clearly explains how validation controls can be added to the web application. And you can also observe here, for one control itself, for one user control itself, I have added two validation controls. One is a required field validator, the other one is a regular expression validator. So like that, here for the marks, what we have done, one is a required field validator, the other one is range validator. So like that, for one user control itself, I can have more than one validation controls that can also be added. So it sees that for any user control in a web application, if you want to validate it on the client side itself, in the web browser itself, you can use the validation controls. The 6 different validation controls can be used to achieve this. Okay, thank you, and I recommend all the girls to explore further all the validation controls, and we will be discussing what is a compare validator, what is a validation summary, and what is custom validator in our next video. Thank you.